Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Kevin from Hapayu Gardening and welcome to part 2 of our season-long experiment to answer the question, what is the best raised garden bed soil mix? In our first episode, I gave you a rundown of our garden and types of soil mixes being used. And if you want to catch up to speed on our garden layout and more about these soil mixes, be sure to check out our first episode on my YouTube channel. For today, we're going to take a closer look at some of the A/B experiments that I've already started with some of our pepper and tomato plants. So let's go take a closer look. So we're over here in bed 1, and what we're going to focus on today are some of our one-on-one comparisons of some vegetables that we started a few weeks ago. Starting with a couple of sweet bell pepper plants, including this one in our first bed where we're using some bag garden soil. We started this little guy from a seed back in March and transplanted it a few weeks ago. And it's actually been a colder few weeks, so we saw almost no growth on this guy until just the other day when it really started warming up. We're actually going to talk more about our mistake in an upcoming video, so be sure to stay tuned and be sure to check back for that video on our channel. You can see this plant has some yellow leaves from the colder weather, and then this top growth on the top really just came out these last couple of days. A little bit closer look at this plant, you also see that there are approximately 3 nodes on this plant, and there are actually some growth coming down on the bottom as well, but most of it is being focused at the top. Alright, let's go take a look at our other sweet bell pepper plant. And here is our other sweet bell pepper plant in our middle bed where we are using Mel's Mix or square foot gardening mix. And like the other one, we started this one from seed and transplanted a few weeks ago. You can see that this one seems to have a little less leaves, but that's actually those yellow leaves I saw in the other one. Well, with this one, same thing happened, but they just fell off already. And like the other one, you can see that there is some new growth at the top, which really just came about these last few days from the warming up of the weather. So we're going to use these 2 sweet bell pepper plants to compare the results of using bag garden soil versus Mel's Mix. Okay, while we're over here, let's take a look at some banana pepper plants that we planted a couple of weeks ago. Right over here. So here's one of our 2 banana pepper plants, and this little girl is growing in Mel's Mix in our middle bed. We purchased this and our other banana pepper plant from our local Home Depot store during one of their 4 for $12 sale, and this one was during the Spring Black Friday. I think Home Depot and Lowe's typically sells these plants for about $4 each. And with this banana pepper plant, you can see that compared to the ones that we grew from seed, it is significantly larger. It's got some very healthy large leaves, and it actually was already having some significant growth when we bought it. Alright, let's go take a look at our other banana plant growing in a topsoil compost mix. And here in our third bed, in a mixture of topsoil and compost, is our other sweet banana pepper plant. You can see this plant is also very healthy, looking just like the other one. I also forgot to mention earlier that all the plants in our area sold at Lowe's and Home Depot come from a nursery called Bonnie, and you can see that right on the plant marker right over there. So with these 2 pepper plants, we're going to compare how they grow in Mel's Mix versus the topsoil and compost mixture. Alright, for our last plants today, we're going to go take a look at a couple of Roma tomato plants that we started just the other day. So we're back over here in our first bed with the bag garden soil, and here's one of our 2 Roma tomato plants. And just like our pepper plants, we purchased these from Home Depot during another one of their 4 for $12 sales that they just had over this past weekend. This Roma tomato plant was planted a few days ago, and it was originally about 3 to 4 inches taller than what you see here. We planted a good portion of the plant under the soil mix to help encourage a stronger root system and ultimately a stronger plant. You want to do this with your pepper plants too, though not as deep, which we did with our pepper plants that you saw earlier. You definitely want to learn more about this by Googling it or checking out one of the many videos that talk about it here on YouTube. And lastly, here is our other Roma tomato plant in the middle bed using Mel's Mix. Like the other tomato plant, it was a very healthy looking plant when we first purchased it. And we just planted it a few days ago, so it's just getting started here. So those are some of our pepper and tomato plants that we have in our vegetable garden this year. Now with our season-long experiment, we're going to look for a few things when trying to compare the difference between bag garden soil, Mel's Mix, and the topsoil compost mix. Some of the things that we're going to look for include the growth rate and the health of these plants, the quantity of the fruits that come from each one, and if there's any noticeable difference in the taste and the quality of the tomatoes and the peppers. And I'll be providing updates right here on YouTube all season long, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. It would also be really appreciated if you like this video, because not only does it help other viewers know that this video series is helpful, but it helps give me a little extra motivation to keep bringing you more and better videos. Thank you for watching, everyone, and until next time, happy gardening.